Hi, welcome to the second installment. In the last video, I explained to you how all the religions that exist come from a common root. Okay, and because A.P. Sinnett called this book Esoteric Buddhism, a lot of people who had issues with Buddhism, the religion of Gautam Buddha, actually shunned theosophy without understanding that theosophy comes from the root word bodhi, okay, which comes from bodh, okay, which is wisdom. So now moving on to what she says. So she says we have to understand that esoteric philosophy reconciles all religions, strips every one of its outward human garments, and shows the root of each to be identical with that of every other great religion. So everyone who has an issue with theosophy, or if you think that it is demonic, please understand that all HPB wanted to convey, one of the crux teachings, is that this wisdom comes to us from one root. Okay, all the traditions that we see, all the systems that we see around us, they all come from one root religion, okay, or system, whatever you want to call it. And this is about the inner spiritual life, okay, and this esoteric philosophy, it brings together every religion and shows us the commonalities so we can better decipher what is correct and what is not. Okay, myths do originate from somewhere. Okay, so this is very important to understand. Okay, it proves the necessity of an absolute divine principle in nature. It denies deity no more than it does the sun. See, these lines are very important, because if you understand these lines, you can never think theosophy is evil, or that it is demonic, or that what Blavatsky was saying is some kind of hate speech. Okay, listen to this, that there is one absolute divine principle that operates in nature, and this principle seeps through all of existence. As you feel in deity, the Father, the Holy Ghost, okay, or if you think of Allah, or if you think of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, they are the same essence. They are of the same essence. They're just being referred to as different names. Okay, so it does not make them separate. It just gives them different names. Right? So this is a very key principle in understanding theosophy. Okay, now esoteric philosophy has never rejected God and nature, nor deity as the absolute and abstract ends, ENS. It only refuses to accept any of the gods of the so-called monotheistic religions, gods created by man in his own image and likeness. A blasphemous and sorry caricature of the ever unknowable. Okay, so furthermore, the records we mean to place before the reader embrace the esoteric tenets of the whole world since the beginning of our humanity, and Buddhistic occultism occupies therein only its legitimate place and no more. Indeed, the secret portions of the Dhan or Dhyana of Gautam's metaphysics, grand as they appear to one unacquainted with the tenets of the wisdom religion of antiquity, are but a very small portion of the whole. The Hindu reformer limited his public teachings to the purely moral. the physiological aspect of the wisdom religion to ethics and man alone. Things unseen and incorporeal. The mystery of being outside our terrestrial sphere. The great teacher left entirely untouched in its public lectures, reserving the hidden truths for a select circle of his arhats. So by this, Blavatsky means that Hinduism that we see now has hidden all of its occult teachings, okay? All of its occult teachings. And it's become more ritualistic, it's become more patriarchal, and it has limited itself to what you can see, but it has left out the unseen and the incorporeal, okay? Now, things unseen and incorporeal, the mystery of being outside the terrestrial sphere. The great teacher left entirely untouched in his public lectures. As I said, that, you know, they've kept the common folk out of the real secrets of the arhats or the initiated. Time and human imagination made short of the purity and philosophy of these teachings. One said they were transplanted from the secret and sacred circles of the arhat during the course of their work of proselytism, which is about preparing for metaphysical research. Once they were transferred into China, Japan, Siam, and Burma. How the pristine purity of these grand revelations was dealt with may be seen in studying some of the so-called esoteric Buddhist schools of antiquity in their modern garb, not only in China and other Buddhist countries in general, but even in not a few schools in Tibet left to the care of uninitiated lamas and Mongolian innovators. So a lot of Tibetan Lamaism, a lot of Buddhist schools have also been tainted by this, because they do not give out the real teachings to everybody. Okay, we see this very prevalent in the yogic sects of, say, the Nath Sampradaya or the Naga Babas. They keep the secrets, or even if you talk about the different divisions in Tantra, like Shaktas, the Shaivas. So there is this need for secrecy which has come about, because this knowledge, this wisdom was being abused, okay? It was being used for nefarious ends, okay? Magic became insidious, okay? So that's something to understand, that the core teachings became hidden from the public, okay? They began to sort of do rituals. Even in Hinduism, there's so many rituals, so many different deities, but what we don't understand is they are symbols of that one abstract Adi Bhuta. All of them are symbols, okay? So that is something to understand, and thus the reader is asked to bear in mind the very important difference between Orthodox Buddhism, that is the public teachings of Gautama the Buddha, and his esoteric Buddhism, which again comes from Buddhi or Bodh, right? So even Buddha was in Bodh Gaya when he achieved nirvana under the peepal tree. So that's also very symbolic. Bodh is that ancient wisdom, right? So his secret doctrine, however, differed in no wise from that of the initiated Brahmins of his day. The Buddha was a child of the Aryan soil, a born Hindu, a Kshatriya, and a disciple of the twice born, the initiated Brahmanas or Dvijas. So Dvijas in the Brahminical sect are people who are born twice, because we see that once they get initiated, the third eye opens, and you see through the Mayavic illusions, and you see the truth, the unity in all of consciousness, right? So he goes on to talk that Buddhist, well, maybe I'll take that up in the next video, so join me in the next segment. Thank you.